In Wiring Planner 1.0, we have the concept of a valid connector mate. When you created a connector, you would define the valid mate for that connector. And then design rule checks would check to ensure that the mates have the same number of contacts and complementary type. For example, a plug could only mate with a receptacle. Our users found this to be tedious because it's possible that one connector might have more than one different part numbers of connectors that were valid mates. And so to define all those became tedious, especially when there were copies of the connectors in black boxes, for example. So we've completely changed that. We've eliminated valid mates. Instead, we now have connector families. When you import one of your existing projects from Wiring Planner 1.0, it will assign all connectors to the generic family by default, so that your existing mates will be valid. But as you develop your library, assign proper families to the connectors. For example, I have here a BNC connector. I've called its family BNC. And here all my D-sub connectors have a D-sub family. This differentiates families so that Wiring Planner will not allow you to mate a circular connector with a D-sub connector, for example, if they both have the same number of contacts and a complementary shell type. So once you've assigned families, then I'll demonstrate how this works. J1 is a DB26F, so if I bring a DB26M onto my diagram, it is shown as a valid mate. Here's a DB78M. If I bring a DB78F, it is a valid mate. Also, you may have noticed, if I disconnect these, we've added a little red dot to connectors, and that indicates that they are not mated. So it is very easy to see which connectors are mated. For example, if these are in close proximity but they're not actually mated, then that becomes obvious. But as soon as I mate them, then those dots disappear. We have also added the ability to do multiple select. So for example, if you've just imported your library and all of these connectors are of the generic family type, you can select all of the D subs at once by pressing the first one and then pressing Shift and the last one, or you can press Control and select certain ones. But once you have all the D subs selected, you can then click the family button and select the family from your list. Now this list shows all the families that are in any of the projects or libraries that are currently open. And because I have the sample library open, there is a large number of families. And you create a new family by typing it in here. And if you've created a family that you want to delete, then you can select that and press delete. But you can only delete it if it's not in use. So if you want to change a family name, you have to reassign all connectors of that family to new name before you can delete the old one. I hope that you find the new connector families to be very helpful and time-saving.